But if some misfortune overtakes you, they rejoice at it. But if you are constant and do right, not the least harm will their cunning do to you. For Allah compasseth round about all that they do. Now, before this ayah, the context is that from ayah 116, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned about kuffar people. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لَن تُغْنِيَ عَنْهُمْ أَمْوَالُهُم وَلَا أَوْلَادُهُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ شَيْئًا وَأُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. Those people who reject faith, so their possessions, their children are not going to avail them in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or against the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are the people of fire. And in the next ayah, مَثَلُ مَا يُنْفِقُونَ, the examples of their spending is given. It is just like a wind which got frost in it, and when it hits the cultivation or crops of the people who have done wrong to themselves, it destroys it. So in this way, all what they spent, that is going to be wasted completely. And then ayah 118 said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tattakhizu bitanatan min dunikum. For believers, don't take into your intimacy those outside your ranks. La ya'lunakum khabala, they will not fail to corrupt you. Waddu ma anittum, they only desire you to ruin. Qad badatil baghda'u min afwahihim, appeared from their mouths is total complete hatred. وَمَا تُخْفِي صُدُورُهُمْ أَكْبَرُ, and what their hearts conceal is far, far worse. قَدْ بَيَّنَّا لَكُمُ الْآيَاتِ إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ, we have made plain our ayat to you if you have wisdom to understand. So this ayah speaks about having friends from among those people who are munafiqeen, who are hypocrites. So these people, they will always try to find out what is going to harm you, and sometimes even when they speak, the hatred comes out from their speech, and the real hatred is hidden in their hearts as well. And then 119, Ha antum ulai tuhibbunahum wa la yuhibbunakum. You love them, they don't love you. You believe in the whole book, but they don't. When they meet you, they say, we believe. But if they are alone with their own friends, they are biting their fingers out of anger. Say to them, قُلْ مُوتُوا بِغَيْظِكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ. Say to them, perish in your rage, and Allah is well aware of all what is in their heart. And after that comes this ayah, which is 120, in tamsaskum hasanatun tasuhum. If anything good reaches you, that is going to make them grieve. And if something bad happens to you, then they are going to rejoice, be happy. وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا لَا يَضُرُّكُمْ كَيْدُهُمْ شَيْئًا. And if you have sabr, patience and taqwa, لَا يَضُرُّكُمْ كَيْدُهُمْ شَيْئًا, their cunning is not going to harm you at all. إِنَّ اللَّهَ بِمَا يَعْمَلُونَ مُحِيطٌ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala compasseth, means encircles all what they do. Nothing is hidden from Allah. That is the context in which this ayah is mentioned. So that is the state of kuffar. And because al-munafiqun are hypocrites, they are worse than kuffar. So this is why their cunning plans and their plotting and their hatred for the believers, that has been explained in these ayats. It is very interesting to note here that very recently an incident has happened where someone in Sweden has burned a copy of the Quran in front of Turkish embassy, and that was such an incident that has enraged the whole Muslim population. Our heart, many people have demonstrated in different countries. All Muslims, they condemn such type of acts as well. And very recently as well, there was a meeting that was held by the Ministry of Islamic Affairs of Turkey, because the name has been changed from Turkey to Turkey, which was attended on Zoom by a good number of people from around the globe. I think more than 60, 70 people who participated into it on state level. And the leaders are the heads of Muslim organizations and societies, and ulama from many, many countries. So, and everyone has spoken about this issue. The few things which I have said, that this type of hatred which has come out from these people, that is not new. It has happened in the past as well, and it will keep on happening. Even if you see right from the beginning of this century, you will see that in 2011, on 22nd March 2011, Terry Jones, who was a person who belongs to the church, a priest, he set fire to a copy of the Quran in Florida, in the church itself. What does it mean? That hatred which they got in their hearts against the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because this book of Quran falsify all their claims about Isa alayhi salam and whatever they say about the Trinity itself. And then similar things have happened again and again, even in Britain. At least 3 occasions have been reported in which a person in each case separately wanted to set fire to the copy of the Quran. But that is something good which was found here, that in each cases the man was taken by the police, and in some cases the person got imprisonment as well. But that was not the case in Scandinavian countries, where in Denmark, in Norway, and in Sweden, such types of incidents happened again and again. And this person who got a dual nationality, Danish nationality and Swedish nationality, that person started it from Denmark to do this. And in 2020, he did it in one of the cities of Sweden. He set fire to the copy of Quran as well. At that time, the Swedish authorities have expelled him and made it clear to him that he is not allowed to come into Sweden for the next 2 years. So after 2 years means after 2020, he wanted to do it once again. And now he got his opportunity and he did it. Of course, we have seen that the Prime Minister of Sweden, he apologized, but still he says that because we believe in the freedom of expression and we believe in democracy, so we can't stop such people. But he also said that burning the sacred books of any religion, that is a matter which is not tolerable. And I regret that incident, and I apologize to all the Muslims whose feelings have been hurt. Apology is given, but the main thing is that he was given permission to do this. He did not do it out of blue. He was given permission by the police to carry out this demonstration and to carry out what he did. So this is the contradiction which is found among the West. The question is that why they are doing it? What is the reason behind it? Reason is very obvious, very clear, and that is Islam has penetrated into Europe, and its number is growing by day and day. More and more people are entering into the fold of Islam, and this is why Islamophobic trend has caught many people. They think that Europe is going to be no more Europe. It would be Eurobia, means dominance with Arabs, and by Arabs they means the Muslims. That is their fear. Amazing thing is that Europe should realize that now the whole world is just like a global village. You can't stop the exchange of ideas, new ideas coming to your country, to your planet. Just like a free trade, you can't stop it. In the very same way, you can't stop new ideas, new beliefs coming to your rank and file. So that is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This has happened throughout the history. Even Europe itself, 1,000 years ago, they were idol worshippers. Then Christianity came, and the idol worshippers, they wanted to block Christianity, but they were not able to do that. And then Europe turned into a Christian planet, or a Christian place. So this has happened in the past. And now, after the First World War and Second World War, when a great number of migration took place from east to west, Europe has been subjected to al-Islam. So that is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that anything which is beneficial, that is going to remain. And things which are not beneficial, they are going to be dispersed and fade away. أما الربد فيذهب جفاء وأما ما ينفع الناس فيمكث في الأرض. That is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they can't stop that sunnah to happen. Now here comes this question that what should be the attitude of the Muslims? About that, there is a very, very clear ayah in the very same surah, which is Surah Al-Imran. Very similar ayah to this ayah which we have just read, 120, in which it has been said, وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا لَا يَضُرُّكُمْ كَيْدُهُمْ شَيْئًا. If you show patience and taqwa, their cunning plans are not going to hurt you. And in ayah 186, by the end of Surah Al-Imran, it says, لَتُبْلَوُنَّ فِي أَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ وَلَتَسْمَعُنَّ مِنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا أَذًى كَثِيرًا وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. You shall certainly be tried and tested in your possessions and in your personal selves, and you shall certainly hear much that will grieve you from those who received the book before you. and from those who worship many gods. But if you have persevere patiently and guard against evil, then that will be a determining factor in all affairs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very clear. You will be tested as far as your mal is concerned, as far as your souls are concerned, and you would be hearing from those people who were given the book before you, and also from mushrikeen people, the idol worshippers, just like the idol worshippers in India, for example. You will hear so many things which will which is considered as adha, as harm. You are going to hear them. So what you have to do in tasbiru, if you show patience, وَتَتَّقُوا, and have taqwa. Taqwa here means wiqaya. In all methods by which you can save yourselves, that is taqwa. So taqwa also means those methods by which you save yourself from the hellfire. So this is why taqwa is to keep away. Taqwa is to keep away from sins. And taqwa also means when you use a shield in the battlefield just to save yourself from the onslaught of the enemy, that is taqwa as well. So here, this word taqwa covers all these meanings. If you show patience and don't retaliate at all, don't try to be encouraged by such an action to do the same. No. So first thing is sabr, and the second thing is taqwa. And you yourself, you must not do anything which is going to hurt your akhirah. Keep away from the sins. And taqwa, as far as the second meaning is concerned, which is wiqaya, and try to find out all such methods, try to take all such methods which can stop such type of events. So this is a great nasiha from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in such matters. So that is a general commandment which can be understood in the perspective of all such events which happened and keep on happening against Islam, against Al-Quran, against the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And to stop such things to happen, that is to take precautionary methods, and that is the duty of those people who got some authority in their hand. I mean the rulers and the prime ministers, kings, all such people who got some authority. They should adopt all such methods which can stop these things to happen again, because nowadays we live in a world where there are so many agreements among the countries. Sometimes it is just a dual agreement between two countries, and it might be something which is accepted and agreed upon by a majority of the countries in this world. And this is known as the Charter for the Human Rights. The Charter of the Human Rights, though it says that every person got the freedom to express himself, he got the freedom of opting what type of religion he wants to act upon, that is there. But in the very same charter, it says that nobody is allowed to do something which hurt or which takes away the rights of other people. Yes, you got your right, but if you use it in a very ugly way, in a bad way, then you are going to transgress upon the rights of the other people. And a person has given this amazing example that when you are, for example, if you are in the habit of having a walk in the morning, and you are just walking on the pavements, and you are walking in such a way that you are raising your hands up and down. For example, the person who tries to exercise, he can stretch out his hand as well. And this is how you are passing by other people. So you have this liberty to stretch out their hands. But to what extent? Until it touches the nose of someone else. Because if you are going to touch the nose of someone else, then your freedom comes to an end. So don't use these rights in such a way which are going to hurt other people, hurt their feelings. So that is a great ayah of the Quran which guides us in such matters. Now let us proceed with the next ayah, which speaks about the battle of Uhud. 121. وَإِذْ غَدَوْتَ مِنْ أَهْلِكَ تُبَوِّئُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ مَقَاعِدَ لِلْقِتَالِ وَاللَّهُ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ. Remember that morning you left your household early to post the faithful at their stations for battle. And Allah hears and knows all things. In Surah Al-Imran, there is a great description of the Battle of Uhud, beginning from these ayats. There is a slight indications to the Battle of Badr, as it is going to come from ayah number 123. But mainly, the Battle of Badr is mentioned in Surah Al-Anfal. And the Battle of Uhud is mentioned here in Surah Al-Imran. More details are going to come about the whole issue in the subsequent ayats of Surah Al-Imran. But here, there is some lessons. The first thing is, there is a reminder that what happened on the day of Uhud. O Prophet, remember when you came out very early, leaving your house, min ahlik, and right from your house, you straight away, you went with the believers to show them the places where they have to stand and fight. وَإِذْ غَدَوْتَ مِنْ أَهْلِكَ تُبَوِّئُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ مَقَاعِدَ لِلْقِتَالِ وَاللَّهُ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ. So first thing is that was an early coming out for the battle. And before we come to discuss the whole issue, let us remember that what happened on that day. The believers, they received the news that the non-believers of Makkah, they are coming to fight the believers. So there was a consultation which took place at that time, whether to come out and face them or to remain within the city, just like a fort, and let them come and try to attack Al-Madinah. So that was the discussion. There were people who said that just like any battle, we should come out and face them. And there were others who were saying, we should not go out. We should fortify ourselves in our city, and that would be better for us. But in the end, the first opinion, just to come out and fight in the open, that prevailed. So Prophet ﷺ indicated to the believers that they have to leave. And once they left towards the plain of mountain Uhud. On his way to mountain Uhud, and they were about 1,000 in number, the group of Abdullah ibn Ubay, who was the leader of hypocrites, he deserted the Prophet ﷺ with his 300 warriors. So Prophet was just left with 700 people. That was one thing. And the second thing which we understand here, that Prophet ﷺ was serious about the battle. And when he came to the Mount Uhud, he has appointed for the people where to stand and where to fight. So the word maqa'id al-qital, it is coming from qa'ada. Qa'ada actually means to sit somewhere. So maq'ad, the place of sitting, but it means a status of a person, a stature of a person, a stand of a person. So this stand should be firm, and he should not leave that place. And we know that the Prophet ﷺ has placed some warriors in a valley behind him, where he suspected some members of the enemy could attack from behind. So this is why there was that valley between two mountains, from where the enemy was expected to come, and the Prophet ﷺ has posted some archers there. So the word maq'ad is also used in Quran. Fi maq'ad sidqin in the malikim muqtadir, the end of Surah Al-Qamar. Fi maq'ad sidqin in the malikim muqtadir, in a sitting of truth with a king who got all the qudra, all the power in his hand. So that sitting of truth means that those people who stand firm, and they remain firm till their deaths. So this is how their stand was true, and they would have a place by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Al-Jannah. Wallahu Sami'un Alim, and Allah listens and Allah knows. And all what happened with the Prophet ﷺ, the consultation which took place, and how Abdullah ibn Ubay has deserted the Prophet ﷺ, nothing is hidden from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another thing which was going to happen, which is mentioned in the following ayah, 122. إِذْ حَمَّتْ طَائِفَتَانِ مِنْكُمْ أَنْ تَفْشَلَا وَاللَّهُ وَلِيُّهُمَا وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Remember, two of your parties meditated cowardice, but Allah was their protector, and in Allah should the faithful ever put their trust. There were two tribes. That is an indication towards these two tribes of Al-Ansar, from the people of Medina, Banu Salama and Banu Harisa, both from Aus and Khazraj. From both tribes, two parties, they wanted to leave as well. So the word hamma is used. إِذْ حَمَّ الطَّائِفَتَانِ مِنْكُمْ. Hamma, you can say that this is just a primary stage of someone's thinking. It does not turn into a very resolution, which is known in Quran as azm. إِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. So it is still ham. وَلَقَدْ حَمَّتْ بِهِ وَحَمَّ بِهَا لَوْلَا أَنْ رَأَى بُرْحَانَ رَبِّهِ. The same word is used in the context of Surah Yusuf, that when Yusuf alayhi salam was alone with that wife of Al-Aziz in the house, she got that thought about him That is وَلَقَدْ حَمَّتْ بِهِ. That is the meaning. وَحَمَّ بِهَا لَوْلَا أَنْ رَأَى بُرْهَانَ رَبِّهِ. And if Yusuf did not see an evidence from his Lord, he could have thought in a similar way as well. But because he got that remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the right time, he got no hum at all. That is the true meaning. So she got hum, she got that thinking about him. But as far Yusuf alayhi salam is concerned, he could have this thought as well if there was no burhan from his Lord. So you can say just if you can say that if there is rain, I am not going to come out. So that is conditional. If there was a rain, you would not go out. But if there was no rain, you will be going. So this is how you have to see what was actually happened. Was there rain or not? In the very same way, was there any evidence which appeared to Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam? That evidence is Burhan Rabbihi. That was his thought about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he knows and he sees everything. So at the last moment, he got no such type of false thinking or no such desire at all. So once again, here the word hamma is used. Is hamma ta'ifatani minkum an tafshala. When two groups among you, they thought to become coward, and tafshala are to leave behind. Wallahu waliyuhuma. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was their supporter. So it means that if this ham did not take place, even Banu Harisa and Banu Salama, they said that this ayah is revealed about us and we are not ashamed that this ayah is revealed about us, because this ayah is praising us. It says, Wallahu waliyuhuma, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was their wali, was their supporter. Wa alallahi falyatawakkalil mu'minun, and the believers should have complete trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that was the case of Banu Harisa and Banu Salama. They still remained with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam until he came to Mount Uhud, and he was preparing for the battle which took place later. Now, because these ayats have been revealed after this battle, so this is why people knew what happened in this battle and how, because of an error by the archers who have left their post, their victory has turned into a failure. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding here that this time you have failed or you did not get the victory. That was because of your own actions. Don't you remember what happened in Badr? Don't you remember that your number was so little in the battle of Badr in face of your enemy, which was 3 times more than you? وَلَقَدْ نَصَرَكُمُ اللَّهُ بِبَدْرٍ وَأَنْتُمْ أَذِلَّةٌ فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. Allah had helped you at Badr when you were very little in force. So have the fear of Allah, so you could have gratitude, shukr for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here, this is the reminder that if you grieve today, there are reasons behind it. Remember that in Badr, you were in a small number. So this word, وَأَنْتُمْ أَظِلَّةٌ, which is the plural of Zalil. Now the word Zalil, what does it mean? This Zalil does not mean always, it does not mean any moral defect. It also means if a person is left without enough force with him. So in another place, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is praising the believers, in which it says, Azillatin alal mu'minin, a'izzatin alal kafirin. Azillatin alal mu'minin. They are zalil upon the believers, aziz upon kuffar. The context will tell you, aziz upon kuffar means, because izza means dominant. So a'izzatin alal kafirin means they are dominant upon kuffar. But as far as believers are concerned, they are very soft upon them. So one of the meaning of this word Dalil. And here it is in the context of their number. Their numbers were not as the number of kuffar. So they are described as Dhillah. So remember that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you victory in Badr. Even your number was not great. So have the fear of Allah, taqwa of Allah, la'allakum tashkurun. And once you remember that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you victory, even when you are weak, you will develop this thought of shukr to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you thank Allah, I am going to increase you in numbers, increase you in health, increase you in everything. The next verse says, this is again the continuation of that remembrance which happened in Badr. إِسْتَقُولُ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَلَنْ يَكْفِيَكُمْ أَنْ يُمِدَّكُمْ رَبُّكُمْ بِثَلَاثَةِ آلَافٍ مِنَ الْمَلَائِكَةِ مُنْزَلِينَ. Remember, thou saidest to the faithful, is it not enough for you that Allah should help you with 3,000 angels specially sent down? We have to take these two ayats together. The next one, 125. Bala in tasbiru wa tattaqu wa yatukum min fawrihim hadha yumdidkum rabbukum bi khamsati alafin min al-malaikati musawwimin. Ye, if ye remain firm and act aright, even if the enemy should rush here on you in hot haste, your Lord would help you with 5,000 angels, making a terrific onslaught. Now here, once again, that is the continuation of that remembrance. Remember when you were saying to the believers in Badr, they can see that their number is small, and the enemy is 3 times more than them. So at that time, you were saying to them, is it not enough? Would it not be enough for you that your Rabb, Allah, would help you instead of 1,000, 3 times more, with 3,000 angels, munzaleen, who are going to be sent down? So the idea was that the enemy is 1,000. What do you think? If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you angels, help from angels who would come with the number of 3,000, yani 3 times more than kuffar. Normally, in a advancing party of the warriors, there is a Maymana and Maysara and the advancing party. Advancing party and the party, people on the right, people on the left. So if in each place there is 1,000, they will come to 3,000 in this way. Our Prophet ﷺ is saying to them, would it not be enough for you if your Lord help you with 3,000 angels who will come who would be sent down for you. Then the answer comes, Bala, of course. In tasbiru wa tattaqu. Just look at the very same two words. If you got sabr and taqwa. وَيَأْتُوكُم مِّن فَوْرِهِمْ هَذَا. And the enemies come to you in haste. يُمْدِدْكُمْ رَبُّكُمْ بِخَمْسَةِ آلَافٍ مِّنَ الْمَلَائِكَةِ مُصَوِّمِينَ. Your Lord is going to help you with 5,000, not only just 1,000, 3,000, with 5,000 of angels. Musawwimin. These 5,000 people are angels. They are musawwimin, and they got some, or they got marks upon them, and they would be recognized. So the Prophet ﷺ told them that don't worry, it is not just 3,000. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could help you with 5,000 as well. Here comes this question that in Surah Al-Anfal, where the Battle of Badr is mentioned, there is a mention of only 1,000 angels. The promise of 1,000 angels is تَسْتَغِيثُونَ رَبَّكُمْ فَاسْتَجَابَ لَكُمْ أَنِّي مُمِدُّكُمْ بِأَلْفٍ مِّنَ الْمَلَائِكَةِ مُرْدِفِينَ. When you were asking help from Allah, from your Lord, so He responded to you. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to you that I am going to help you with 1,000 angels, murdifin, coming after you, coming behind you, coming to help you. Murdifin, ardafa yudifu irdaf, normally means a person who is, if you are on the back of the camel, and the person who is sitting on your back is called your murdif, that is sitting on the back of you. So the angels would come to help you from behind. So the question is that only 1,000 angels were mentioned there. So how could you say that there was a promise of 3,000 and not even 3,000 reaching to 5,000? The answer to that question is that the word murdifin means that those people who would come after you, their number is not given. It may be 1,000 persons, but because of irdaf, there might be more behind them. So this is how that 1,000 could be increased to 2,000, to 3,000, to 4, to 5. All could happen. So there is no contradiction between two ayat. It was a promise. And because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who sent angels in the Battle of Badr, and it was noticed by some Sahaba as well that how they got some unseen help. The angels did fight in that battle. And they were within 1,000 in number. So there was no need to have more angels to come and fight with them. So this help which is coming from the angels, about that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, this is just to please you, because the person, when he sees someone beside him, helping him, he becomes more courageous. But actually that is a help which is coming from Allah. Allah is in no need to send you angels. He could help you without angels. But this is because of the human nature. And that is the meaning of the next ayah, 126. وَمَا جَعَلَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بُشْرَى لَكُمْ وَلِتُطْمَئِنَّ قُلُوبُكُمْ بِهِ وَمَا النَّصْرُ إِلَّا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ الْعَزِيزِ الْحَكِيمِ. Allah made it but a message of hope for you and an assurance to your hearts. In any case, there is no help except from Allah, the exalted, the wise. This is what I said, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent these angels as a token of satisfaction for you, good news for you, so that you have itminan, satisfaction of your heart, but believe that the help only comes, the real help is coming from Allah. وَمَا النَّصْرُ إِلَّا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ الْعَزِيزِ الْحَكِيمِ. Allah who is Aziz, who is dominant, Al-Hakim, who is wise. And then this help which is coming from Allah, in the next two ayat, it says that it is for some purposes, because you might think that we must have such a help by which we can uproot the kuffar totally. We can destroy them completely. But what is the objective with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? These two ayat explain it. 127. لِيَقْطَعَ طَرَفًا مِّنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا أَوْ يَكْبِتَهُمْ فَيَنْقَلِبُوا خَائِبِينَ. That he might cut off a fringe of the unbelievers or expose them to infamy. And they should then be turned back, frustrated of their purpose. 128. ليس لك من الأمر شيء أو يتوب عليهم أو يعذبهم فإنهم ظالمون. Not for thee, but for Allah is the decision, whether he turn in mercy to them or punish them, for they are indeed wrongdoers. You see, this word which comes within the four ways in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to deal with kuffar. The first one is لِيَقْطَعَ طَرَفًا مِّنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, to cut off a fringe of the enemy. So it means that some people are going to be killed. Not all of them. That this is just
ठीक है शेख।
ये बैटरी लो होने की वजह से
जी जी हाँ नहीं
होने लगा था, तो अभी सिर्फ 10% रह गई थी, तो बीच में अभी कट ऑफ हो गया, तो यहाँ इसको खत्म ना कर दें फिर।
यहाँ तो खत्म अभी अगर चार्ज पे लग जाता है तो अभी क्योंकि आप मिड सेंटेंस थे ना, तो अगर चार्ज पे लग जाता है तो इसको बीच में से काट लेंगे, क्योंकि अभी लाइव जा नहीं रहा। लाइव इसलिए जा रहा है, रिकॉर्डिंग होने के लिए लाइव जा रहा है।
हाँ बस ठीक है, मैं फिर पूरा कर देता हूँ, ये अभी मैंने लगा दिया इसको।
जी सही है।
हाँ, there are four, as we said, there are four ways in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to treat them. First is to cut off a fringe of them. Second is أو يكبتهم, or to bring them some grief. So this word yakbitahum, actually that is yakbidahum, that is the dal which is changed into ta. So kabata is actually kabada. So kabada or kabid, which is liver, that is one of the expression of Al-Quran, that if a person hits someone into the liver, that is called kabadahu or kabatahu. In the same way, it can be used for different type of expressions, like if it reaches the chest, then it could be sadarahu, and in the same way, it can be used for kiliya kalahu. So this is why the word kabata here, it means that to bring them some grief. It means not all the people are going to be killed. Some might be injured, and they would be aggrieved because of the death of other companions. and the loss of their money, their horses. So these are the two ways. First, to kill a part of them, bring them grief, فَيَنْقَلِبُ خَائِبِينَ, and then they go back frustrated completely. The other two are أَوْ يَتُوبَ عَلَيْهِمْ. That is the third one, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted for some of them to do repentance, so they are going to enter into Islam. And the last thing is أَوْ يُعَذِّبَهُمْ, that they are not going to enter into Islam. They will have punishment later. فَإِنَّهُمْ ظَالِمُونَ, because they are the wrongdoers. In between, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned is sunnah, لَيْسَ لَكَ مِنَ الْأَمْرِ شَيْءٌ. O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, nothing is in your hand. Nothing is in your hand. So these all four types of treatment which are given, that is in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whether you want all of them to be uprooted, that is not in your hand. All of them turn into Islam, that is not in your hand. So that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has conveyed here by putting this ayah within these four ways of Allah's treatment of kuffar. Everything is in the hand of Allah. لَيْسَ لَكَ مِنَ الْأَمْرِ شَيْءٌ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ يُعَذِّبُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ لَيْسَ عَلَيْكَ هُدَاهُمْ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يَشَاءُ لَيْسَ لَكَ مِنَ الْأَمْرِ شَيْءٌ. So all these different types of expression show the same thing. So this is what happened, that some people in Badr, they have been killed, and some later repented and they became Muslim, like Khalid bin al-Walid, Amr ibn As, even Abu Sufyan. So many entered into Islam, Ikrimah bin Abi Jahl. And then there were those people who did not become Muslim at all. So they received the perpetual azab and punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the last verse here, وَلِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ يَغْفِرُ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيُعَذِّبُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَاللَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. And to Allah belongs all what is in the heavens, in the earth. He forgives whom He likes, He punishes whom He likes. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is oft forgiving and most merciful. So that is the same continuation of that thought, that to Allah belongs everything, not only as far as the treatment of kuffar is concerned, but whatever is found in this world, in the heaven, in the earth, that belongs to Allah. And He is the one who forgives, He is the one who punishes, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ghafoor and Rahim. So that is what we can say the most preferable meaning of these ayat. And inshallah, in our following lessons, we will also mention the second opinion, which was held by some Mufassirin from among At-Tabi'een like Mujahid and Ikrimah and Ash-Shabi and Hasan al-Basri. There is a second opinion as well, that these ayat about the promise of 3,000 angels or 5,000 angels, till the end of these ayat, they are all related to the battle of Uhud and not to the battle of Badr. So that we are going to express, inshallah, in our following lesson. وصلى الله تعالى على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.